Yep. It's because I changed up my schedule. So I don't stream at around well, I can't really stream in the afternoon. So it makes things a little bit difficult for me in order to do it consistently. So I opted for the mornings. And just went with that. But yeah, we're in for some degenerates this time around. Because we are going to be slapping some ranks on some monster girls, of course. I haven't really got my tea yet. I should be doing that maybe somewhere a little bit later down the line, but we should be ready to go. Because after, yeah, time zones. Time zones can be quite the magical thing when it comes to catching someone live, or just being able to support someone, or all these other things. But I am up bright and early, ready to go. And all right, I think we should be at a good point in time to get things started. You know what? Actually, let me get my tea first. I'll just warm things up and then we'll be ready to go. So I'll be right back. I do have the first one on screen. Well, the first one on the document, which I will be showing here. Hopefully everybody can actually see it. Yeah, somewhat see it. But I'll be right back. All right, now I got my tea. Should be ready to go. And we're gonna slap it. Slap some names and numbers and, well, just gonna have a nice little time. All right, and let me also get the word out there too. Gotta be careful though. Right. So obviously there are some ones that I can't really show on stream because there's some very not safe for work images that could probably get me, well, that will get me yeeted off Twitch. So I do have, thank God for multi-monitor setups, have another screen that I can just kind of preview. And if I wanted to show it, then I can show it. So it might be a little bit borderline. Might be. But I also got to figure out what would be some good music in order to have along the stream. But if you guys like like me to just keep it the way it is, just my voice alone, that should be fine. And we could probably take a little bit of a break in between. Sorry for just clearing my throat too much. I just woke up not too long ago. I could legit be late to my own freaking funeral at this point. All right, first thing on the agenda, the Akaname. Looks like it's a what race is this one? A Temptress and Majin. Lives in human settlements in Zipangu region. Disposition is lustful, melancholic, and spiteful. Diets on filth, sweat, saliva, basically bodily fluids and men's essence. Okay. Characterized by having long, skinny tongue that inhabits the Zipangu region. As the name suggests, Akaname means filth liquor. Mainly feed off the filth of human men. They make their flexible tongue crawl over a man's body, licking up every bit of filth. They tend to prefer unhygienic, mentally or physically fatigued men. Suddenly appear out of nowhere in human settlements, lured by the scent of men, and wait for their prey by lurking in bath. Oh yeah, we are not. We're off to a good start. Slippery personality that is difficult to assess. Outwardly behave in a teasing manner, but true nature is obsessive and lustful. Tongue usage matches their personality when one thinks they've licked all over every inch of the male body. They'll rub their face against delicious places where it's especially easy for filth to accumulate, such as the armpits, penis, and so on, and continue looking deliberately and persistently intent on spending plenty of time savoring their aromatic taste and scent. The caressing of their alluring tongue is alone enough to easily demand ejaculation. The kind of filth they prefer isn't simply what is generally known as filth. Just monsters are always continually releasing demonic energy. Humans also excrete their old essence outside of the body as it becomes unneeded. Yep. Yes. This is. Yes, I am definitely doing this from A to Z. That's the intent. That's why I have it for a whole week. This is never going to be a family-friendly stream, too. Also, let me have the chat popped out, too, so I can have it easier to see. Because kind of going back and forth is a little... Where's pop out? There we go. Pop out. We popping out and popping off. Okay. Where was I? Let's see. They say that the taste has a thick. They say that it has a thick taste that sticks inside the mouth. Additionally, demonic energy rubbed into a man's body by their tongue has the effect of boosting their metabolism. A man's body will start to work hard to producing new essence and release the releasing the old as filth, resulting as a treat for them. So it's like expelling toxins to some degree. All right, and And like the true nature, they obsessively and persistently shower the man with. They recognize as their husband with affection. They love to wrap. They love to wrap around. They love to wrap each other's bodies together. Of course, they like to have sex, wrapping their arms and legs around a man's body. The ravenous. Mm. 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 Yeah. This one is definitely a B. This is definitely a B. Like this is a certified freak for sure. An absolute certified freak. And I guess if it's if we're looking at it for like a another perspective, their tongue can go in magical places. But the places where it accumulates a lot of quote unquote filth, yeah. Just somehow it feels like it doesn't really click right. Like if you're into body play or something like that, then yeah, an Akanami might be the choice for you. But But the fact that they work outside of fucking bathrooms is just oh, they're just ready for like the ice cream machine or something that's broken. All right, next we got Alice. I think that looks like a no go. Yep, no go. Next up, we got Alp. This also looks like a no go. Oh wait, hold up. Hold up, hold up. All right, Alp. If a killer kind of wait, can I put this on? Yeah, I think I can be able to put this on stream. Maybe you guys and gals can really help me with this. Nah, I don't think I want to chance it. But it's kind of interesting. Because like I wish there was hmm, hmm, hmm. Uh, Because here's the thing about the Alp. They're actually converted from men. So they have a bit of a boyish look to them. But you know what? Yeah, I'm still not. I'm gonna do a no-go on this one as well. All right, Green. Thanks for stopping by. This is gonna be going on for the entire week. Well, almost the entire week since I'm not doing this on Sunday. Hopefully, I can actually nip this in the bud. Yeah, I'll just leave it as a no-go. But if there's like a point where you have to do like gun to the head, what's the ranking kind of deal, I'll do it. All right, Allura Un. This image is kind of safe. Like, there's not much is being shown on the left. Yeah, I think I can show it. All right, plant-type monster with the form of a beautiful woman covered in enormous flower petals that have a forest. Normally, they don't move around much. They're always releasing sweet fragrances that attract human men, and they wait for their prey. This fragrance is released from the bodily fluids, and this fluid is called Allura Un's nectar. It acts as a powerful aphrodisiac and stamina enhancer. When the prey approaches, they use their vines to bind them and drag him inside their flower. And once inside, they have sex with the man after making him drink plenty of nectar, and they savor the man. They savor the body fluids, which is their treat. Afterwards, men that are those that are fond with those they are fond of will always be inside the flower, continue to be joined with them, almost as if the men themselves are becoming part of the Allura Un. That's kind of scary. So you're becoming part of the flower too. The inside of the flower is overwhelming with nectar, since an individual's lower body is always being soaked in nectar. Their parts can always be swelling inside the Allura Un and never run out of lust or stamina. When it grows cold, the Allura Un will close its petals and endure the cold until the spring. In this case, the Allura Un with a man will store up enough nutrients necessary for reproduction and for keeping their man alive by then. While the petals are closed, she's having intercourse with the man repeatedly in order to produce seeds. As for the nectar, besides forcing men to drink it, it is also treasured by other monsters, especially often attacked by honeybees, which mainly feeds on nectar. Honeybees will go for the Allura Un's flower and gather nectar almost like they're having sex, but the Allura Un do not resist. The reason why is that by having sex with honeybees, the Allura Un nectar ripens, and releases even sweeter fragrances, which is even more attractive to human men. Brains of men who smell it are then stimulated, and they end up heading towards the fragrance. But they'll find a hot and bothered honeybee and Allura Un covered in nectar, and they'll be attacked by them. Let's see. I would say just the idea of getting trapped and just slowly being turned into a flower is not really doing it for me. Not one bit. Not one bit. But like the stat buffs, as I like to call them, the stat buffs that they throw around seem very enticing. Very, very enticing. And they can protect you during the winter too, because they probably have leaves that are so thick and lively that not even the cold's gonna pierce it. Well, you're pretty much their plaything from that point onward. So let's say C. C is probably a reasonable one. All right. Amazonas. Nope, definitely can't show this on stream. It's a type of succubi that lives in the forest and established peculiar villages. Originally, they were just a tribe of only human women called Amazonas, but after transition to the power of the Kermandinian lord, they were invaded by succubi, and almost all of them were converted into the succubus family. They've become to be regarded as a kind of monster in the current era. They're all raised to be warriors from childhood, possess excellent physical abilities, and are proficient in the arts of war. Since the society consists mainly of women, their views of gender roles are the opposite of those humans. So women take up arms and fight as warriors, while men are regarded as frail and responsible for watching over the house and young children. Death by snoo snoo. The duty is to heal women who return exhausted from hunting or battle by having sex with them and providing essence. Excuse me. They periodically perform manhunts, where they attack human settlements and capture men who strike their fancy, taking them back to the village as husbands. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, I almost forgot my avatar. I almost forgot. It's legit snoo snoo. Ooh. They have peculiar value. Wait. An Amazon who obtains a man this way becomes considered an adult regardless of her age and is treated as a full-fledged warrior. Having peculiar views, they prefer to have sex in front of other people, and especially in the cowgirl position where the woman is on top. They'll just do the nasty in front of everybody. No fear, no questions asked. Jesus Christ. They're just gonna go at it no matter who is watching. It's just legit asserting dominance every step of the way. And you have no say in it whatsoever. Like, they're very passionate towards women, or those that have a female-leaning gender. But man, you're gonna get crushed. As a man, you're gonna get crushed. It just makes me think of that one thing from Futurama. The flesh is weak, but the spirit is strong. Yeah, just see how long you last against an Amazoness. Just see how long you'll last. Yeah, where was I? By showing off how they ravage the husband, they boast their strength to other Amazons and assert ownership of that man. It is said another purpose of this is to inspire Amazons who don't have a man and have not come of age yet, serving as role models. When a new married couple is formed, it's always accompanied by a celebratory feast, and the wife will continuously ravage the husband there all night long while surrounded by other Amazons. Young Amazon children. Also, if a human happens to wander into the village, if it's a man, then the fledgling Amazoness will mark him as the target of a manhunt on the spot. If it's a woman, she'll be captured, and in the same manner as a succubus, they'll infuse it with demonic energy through sex, and she will be changed into an Amazoness. Afterwards, she will be educated in the ways of the Amazon's warriors, learning the arts of war, the roles of men and women that differ from the outside world, and how to ravish and please men, etc. Additionally, should a man and a woman wander into the village together, the woman will be passionately welcomed as an excellent warrior candidate who has already captured a man and receive a thorough warrior's education. If we know what we read before, you know what that means. And furthermore, as part of their body paint that looks like illustrations, they claim if it's a charm to draw out the power of a warrior. But actually, when the Amazon's tribe changed from a human to monster, they were taught of the pleasure runes by succubi who invaded their villages. After being inaccurately passed down, the runes ended up being altered. Being altered. Originally, the purpose was to amplify the pleasure of sex for the person with the runes engraved. So it was made so that the succubi could further enjoy sex and had absolutely nothing to do with battle. If it had accurately been handed down, then the Amazons would now have pleasure runes engraved all over their body. With their entire body attacked with intense pleasure, they wouldn't be able to do daily life activities, much less fight. Instead, they would be unable to think about anything but sex and then end up shutting themselves in their homes, constantly having sex with their husbands. So it's because of that inaccuracy that they don't become absolutely crazed. And Let me think. Like, you are practically just a plaything to them. It will do the business with you in public as a sign of asserting dominance. You have no say. You have no do. You are just there, constantly getting monster mashed to oblivion. I'd say I'm kind of thinking back to the Akaname. I'll probably bump it down to C. This, I would say, is a B. Only because there's one thing that comes to mind. Sometimes you want to have a very proactive partner, right? As long as nothing is ever involving like pegging or anything of the sort, that's fine. But the fact that they only do just one position is just limiting. It's just absolutely fucking limiting. See, fuck it. They have the body, they have the qualities, but they treat women pretty nicely. As expected. As expected. All right, the angel, which from here looks like a no-go. But if they were depicted in a more mature state, it would definitely be a higher rank. But for now, this is no-go. Or you know what? I could probably bypass this too. But I can still read the description nonetheless. Servants of God with beautiful white wings, revered by the order of the chief god, they dwell in heaven and rarely visit human settlements as messengers of God. Aside from that, it is said they sometimes accompany the church on moss-slaying expeditions. Since they faithfully uphold the teachings of God, they are abstemious, extremely negative towards human desire and monsters. For that reason, they're merciful with a fundamental distaste for fighting, and yet they'll still make an effort to mete out punishment in the name of God. They were not originally monsters, but those who have been violated by the succubus's energy and have started to seek human men are treated as monsters. Angels have innate divine protection. Due to this, they have resistance to demonic energy, and they do not completely change to the succubus. The horns and tails normally seen in a succubus will not grow, but the mind will become warped after being thoroughly violated with succubus's energy. The god they serve and the teachings they have, everything in their head grows vague, and they become positive towards human desires and monsters. Because of the succubus instinct that desires human men, or humans, they'll end up frequently visiting human settlements. The original role of angels was to reward humans with happiness for performing good deeds. Once they receive succubus energy, they're imprinted with the notion that feeling pleasure is the ultimate happiness for humans. And they'll attack and have sex with a human who strikes their fancy in order to make them happy. They treat humans they target with extreme devotion, but like other monsters, it's half one-sided. What the fuck does that mean? And won't take no for an answer. Once they obtain a human and have sex with them, their mental conversion into a succubus progresses at once. The recognition of God and their teachings that had barely remained will be pushed out of their feelings by the beloved, which will occupy a majority of their mind. They have a duty to make people happy, and when they first realize they could use their own bodies to make them happy, they experience a shock and joy. And then they offer their chastity to the one they love, as if they had completely forgotten the teachings of God and regard that lasciviousness as bad and purity as virtue. And they'll try to make their significant other really happy by moving the hips lewd like a succubus. They aren't aware of their own sexual desire. They believe the only reason they're having sex with a man is to please them. The only reason they're having sex is to please them, but for a reason, when they realize they do seek pleasure for themselves, the mind has already changed into something obscene, and they badly desire sex with anything. They completely change into a succubus and transform into a dark angel. Yeah, so barring the image that we have already, this is B tier. We are in B tier with that one. Antarachne, I'm already feeling that I'm probably going to make this a lower rating, but if the description proves me wrong, I'm pretty sure it's going to... Wait. All right. Antarachne. A small bug-type monster of the arachne family that bears a remarkably close resemblance to the giant ant. This mimicry serves to fool giant ants into thinking that the antarachne is one of their own kind. The arachne takes advantage of this by mixing with groups of ants and moving into their nests. Despite their resemblance to the giant ant, their disposition is very different, becoming quite ferocious in nature. As for food, they eat what the ants gather, and they hardly ever leave the nest, so one rarely encounters them above ground. They obtain a partner much in the same way. When giant ants bring back their prey to the nest, they seize them and carry them back into their own bed. Being exposed to the giant ant pheromones that pervade the nest make them highly aroused and extremely lustful. They'll join them after binding their four limbs with the thread they spit out thread. Ants don't do that. And firmly seize their prey's hips with their arms and legs and all their legs before slamming their own hips into them. It's not over once the prey ejaculates. They're constantly exposed to pheromones, and they won't be satisfied with having sex once or twice in a row. They enjoy pleasures of milking fluids and by having sex again and again and slamming their hips together for as long as they like. They can't release pheromones like giant ants can, but the ants' pheromones stick to them thoroughly to them. And when the prey sees the obscene effect it has on them, it'll likely be impossible to suppress its desire. Unlike giant ants, they don't work all day. After capturing a man, they have a lazy lifestyle. Well, after capturing their prey, they have a lazy lifestyle, having sex with them all day and night. The reason they have no need to work is because the men who become their husbands are the same as them. They rapidly grow corrupt along with them, and eventually their priority on the head with So it's the pheromones that do the work. I would say this is BT. No. B tier? No. Let me think. Like, if you can just. Well, the thing with the arachnids is that they still have human qualities. But you're kind of trapped. you're bona fide trapped. And there's no way to get out of it. Once you're there, once you practically bathe in the pheromones, that's it. There's no escape for you. I mean, some might like that, but in actuality, if you want to have a break, there is no breaking out. So it's a B. All right, Anubis. Yep, we can't show that. Okay, Anubis. And we're almost done with A. We're actually moving at a good rate. A type of werewolf that inhabits the desert region, they inhabit ruins all over the desert regions as the bosses of mummy soldiers. And it's their duty to protect the sleeping rulers of their ruins, the pharaohs. They have high intelligence, so that's a good part. Especially for a demisexual. And have the power of various curses. There are other monsters with an intellectual and sincere disposition, which is rare among the wolf family. As opposed to the Sphinx, which guards outside the ruins, they watch over the inside of the ruins. Whenever they spot an intruder, they attack in an attempt to capture them by using their curse power. Okay, so they provide some nice self-defense. If they capture a human that strikes their fancy, they'll bring them back to their dwelling in order to make them their partner with. They have a controlling nature and will try to control every aspect of their husband's life. Oh, that's oh yeah, that's girl bossing right there. That's absolute girl bossing. Including planning his diet and scheduling his activities even when it comes to having sex. They frequently give instructions as if the relationship of that of a boss and her subordinate. If he doesn't obey their instructions, as criminal punishment, he will be afflicted with the mummy's curse, which changes one body to be extremely sensitive to pressure like that of a mummy. And they will have sex, keep having sex with them until they keep having sex with the prey until they pass out. Additionally, they will also affect human female intruders with the above written mummy curse as well. In the case that a woman is afflicted with a curse, the effects are not temporary as they are with men. Instead, the woman will be then changed into a mummy and become subordinates of the Anubis. They're normally calm, but they have another face. They're extremely vulnerable and easily get confused when something unexpected happens and things don't go as planned. Oh, okay. So, if nothing goes their way, you probably resist their temptations or their curses, or have any kind of anti-curse gear. There'll be a very specific amount of shock to the system. Like, their minds will be broken just at the thought that you disobey their order. If the prey actually assaults them, then they get confused and aroused and will end up seeking pleasure according to the wolf family's instinct. When this happens to them, everything they had planned in advance in their head goes someplace else and disappears. And the schedule in their head becomes filled with only having sex with the prey. They became unable to think about anything else but sex, indulging in pleasure in spirit, and becoming pregnant with or satisfying the prey due to the bodily fluids release. Their ordinary, dignified appearance is nowhere to be found. Instead, they just like a nymph, an absolute nymphomaniac. No matter how rational a monster they are normally, it is the appearance of drowning them in pleasure and seeking nothing but a prey that is closer to the monster's fundamental instinct, and thus is the monster's true nature. Like, this is pretty much Switch energy. This is pretty much Switch energy. Anubises are actual switches. If we're going by the description that they have, they're legit switches. They're dominating, so they have, and they even give you a freaking regimen too. The major question is, however, what kind of regimen are they planning for you? If it's like some sort of workout routine, daily life routine, and all that jazz, yeah, I might even take them up to it too. If it's all like beneficial to keeping me healthy and as a suitable candidate for anything else in the pipeline, fuck it, why not? A tier. A tier for sure. All right, Apophis. This is a Lamia. Yep, Lamia. I can kind of show this because it's just that. Oh wait, let me move this up. And I just gotta get things ready. Oh no, let me do this real quick. Let's switch it over here. All right, dark-colored serpents are said to carry the power of another realm within themselves. Apophis are monsters created by gods and as adversaries of the pharaoh. This is to prevent awakening of the pharaohs who sleep within the ruins and the desert. In the age of the former demon lord, many pharaohs were buried over forever at the Apophis's hand, never to awaken. There's a daughter with masterless and abandoned ruins as a reminder of this. However, this is an ancient tale as the present, as the Apophis's nature has been changed due to the influence of the new demon lord, and they no longer kill pharaohs, although they still do oppose them. They have a powerful, peculiar neurotoxin within their body. When they bite someone, they inject into their prey. If the prey is a woman, the poison eats away at her body with extreme heat and pleasure, making her flesh to become greedy and ultra-sensitive to pleasure. And even makes her mentally morph into a lustful monster-like disposition of simply wanting love and pleasure with a companion. Once the Apophis venom enters the prey's body, it will never disappear. Prey, delirious and entranced by the venom, will end up swearing allegiance to the Apophis and become their servants. If the person corrupted by the venom is a monster, then even if she had a disposition that was warm, timid, serious, emotionless, pure, or stubborn, and would normally not assault, will become aggressive and try to straddle and ravish men. If it's a human woman, they'll be reborn into a Lamia, and as the Apophis' loyal servant, she will seek love and pleasure and begin attacking men. And even in the case when human men are bitten, along with the pleasure and heat, they'll change to incubi, who will always want to drown in pleasure with monsters and will make suitable husbands for monsters. The Apophis uses this venom to subdue pharaohs and place them under their command without killing them. Further by the venom and reduced to the mere female monsters, the pharaohs will forget all about their affairs of state, will seek out husbands, secluding themselves into rooms with him indefinitely. In that manner, Antipophis becomes the ruler of a kingdom instead of the pharaoh. The entire region of the ruins that were the kingdom of the pharaoh will change it to the shape of a dark demon realm of everlasting night where sun never rises. That's kind of scary. A fascinating atmosphere that hangs in the air will become a monster paradise when they can lapse into delirium and revel in mutual heat with their husbands. Antipophis who has obtained her own kingdom is likely to keep aggressively biting monsters and human women with their venomous fangs to convert them into servants in order to expand the demon realm and make it even more obscene. The Anubis, who are the Apophis' loyal servants, will come up with obscene, licentious schemes to expand paradise and enable themselves to indulge in love and pleasure. And the Sphinx will aggressively attack travelers and even raid human settlements to bring many men into the demon realm, increasing the number of residents in their paradise. So they are a very invasive species. Very, very invasive. Additionally, the Apophis themselves are greedy for love and pleasure in the same way as those corrupted by their venom. And if a man who strikes a fancy, they will pour plenty of venom into him and have sex after binding him with their snake bodies to try and make him their prisoner in body and mind. They are also monsters, and they are from the Lamia family on top of that, so their attachment to their husbands is extremely powerful. I guess that explains why, what's her name in Monster Musume? That's why she's always so lovey-dovey to the point where already she treats the main character like husband material. So Lamias by nature are just very, very affectionate. This one in particular is just very, very manipulative too. Okay, let me switch back. Additionally, now that I read that, those who find an husband before attacking a pharaoh, which was supposed to be their entire reason for existence, will completely lose their interest in their duty. Okay, so they are very, very conniving. And their affairs are just much grander than what their desires are. Lamias do have that kind of quality, though. And you can't really go wrong with the whole sensitivity angle. But I kind of fear for the ladies that do get wrapped up in their little warpath because, well, you not only get bitten, you get converted into another Apophis or even something else. So, yeah. I would say this is a B tier. Like physically, goddamn, they got it going on. But qualitatively, you're pretty much just getting used by them. But then again, they're extremely devoted to their partners. That's the major thing. Like if you're into having like if you're into having like some sort of quote unquote family life within a Lamia, chances are, well, they'll make fine husbands, make fine wives. But do you really want to get thrown into this whole kind of situation? Part and parcel. So I'm bumping it up to an A. We're bumping it up to an A. All right. Next one is the Apsara, which is probably some sort of spirit. Ooh, yes. Okay, let me see if I can swap to this one. Oh wait, nope, looks like I can't do that. Yeah, as long as I have it on the primary monitor, I should be able to do it. But yes, all of my yes is right there. Yeah, I'm starting to. What, did no one see the schedule or the post that I made in Bluebase? I always said it was going to be starting like around the usual time. Window cap is broken. I even have it on the primary window too. All right, let me mess around with this a little bit. There we go. So I should be able to switch back easily. Yeah, there we go. All right, the Apsara, a race of dancers that revere the goddess of love, Eros, and champion the cause of erotic love. It is said that the goddess of love was once ordered by the higher ranked gods to create an elixir of perennial youth and beauty. During the process, the goddess mixed her energy with the ocean, and it became an ocean of milk. That was white like milk. It is from the ocean where the Apsara was born. There are water elementals whose bodies are clad in liquid that is sweet milk, that is like sweet milk. So maybe like evaporated milk? Or something sweeter than that. In any case, they have a deeply loving, lustful personalities, and in the name of the goddess, they tempt humans who have never known love with their beautiful looks and dancing and try to use their bodies to fill them with love. Even for the Order's forces, their temptation is treated as an ordeal given to heroes and saints. In most nations, harming them is forbidden, as it should. It's a sin. Don't attack them. They polish up their dance of love in order to shower themselves in a man's love and desire. And a human's love and desire. It accentuates the beauty and the allure of their limbs. Those who behold it have their hearts stolen. And each and every step of their choreography is designed to guide them to gaze not only to their face, breasts, and the lower abdomen, but their underarms, legs, and fingertips, inciting lust and forcing the human to recognize them in their entirety as an erotic object. Oh, let's rephrase that. Inciting their lust and forcing the human to recognize them as erotic. Dancing is always part of their lives. Even their casual daily gestures appear elegant and provocative like a dance. It will turn a human's love and desire towards them. A certain individual was captured just from being approached by an Apsara. They were enthralled by the way their hips shook when she walked. Dang, dang, dang. Like, yeah, look at them. Probably even the clothes they wear helps too, because it accentuates the parts of the body that they want to show off the most. The curves, the hips, everything they have is like moving with musicality and such. I want to say dainty, but very how would I put it? A very alluring dance. Everything they do is an alluring dance. Yeah, she's pretty much modeled after like the Arabian Nights. The dances of Arabian Nights. Belly dancers. In the traditional sense of belly dancers, too. Another person awakened to the peculiar love for their armpits. From just a very young Apsara innocently waving her hand at him. It is said that both men gave in and had sex with them as soon as they were tempted. Those who have sex with them even once witness them at their most beautiful. As the human's capacity to think melts away from the sweet pleasure caused by the body, they lasciviously dance as they thrust their hips along with the pleasure. It's further colored by the cries of ecstasy and wet noises. Ooh, yeah. As long as they continue to reveal their dance before one's eyes, in other words, as long as one continues to be joined with them, they will never falter. The sight of them will be unforgettable and distinctly burn into the eyes. And those who are entranced by them will become their partners afterwards. Recall the lewd sight of sex. The lewd sight during sex in the mind, just from seeing them dance, do a dance-like gesture. This will cause them to be frequently aroused. The love and desire relentlessly directed towards them by their partners is unbearably adorable to them. They accept everything with joy and use everything they have to offer love with their husband. Also, at the weddings of the followers of the goddess of love, an event is held where they surround the bride and groom and reveal their dancing. The celebratory dance affects the two partners rather than the dancers themselves and accentuates the charm of the both of them. The two will only have eyes for each other, and their hearts will be overflowing with love and lust for their beloved partners. In this way, celebrating the birth of a new married couple and strongly binding them together with erotic love is also one of their important duties. So you know what? Yes. 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 This is certainly S tier. S tier. We got our first S tier today, boys and girls. First S tier today. My personal favorite is Raiju and Chimera. I think we might be able to get to that today. And I also, let me open my window too. It's nice outside. We're ranking Mouse Girls in beautiful weather. What more can you ask for? Arachne. Is this? Nope. Can't show it on stream. Can't show this on this Christian channel. Yeah, this is not even close to a Christian channel anymore. It was never like that to begin with. And excuse me for just clearing my throat a little bit too much. I think I might be coming down with something. A bug-type monster with the lower body of a spider that dwells in dark places such as caves and deep within forests. They have high intelligence, that's another good quality. But most of them are lustful and belligerent. Since they have high physical abilities, they are very dangerous creatures. They make sticky thread inside their bodies and use it to make a net-like web. These webs function as traps for seizing prey. Animals and people that touch it without realizing get stuck to its adhesive power. And get stuck to it and become unable to move. Of course, they aggressively attack trap prey and other prey seeking to wrap it in threats to capture it. In the case of the prey is captured as a human, they'll attempt to copulate for the purpose of procreation. It's said that these sadistic monsters obtain unbearable pleasure and happiness from one-sidedly destroying those who can't move due to the threads when they're in their grasp. Furthermore, the more the man tries to resist, the more rebellious a man is, the stronger it stimulates their sadistic nature. As the desires intensifies, they give the individual rougher sex and even more intense pleasure. If caught, it's best to just sit there and do nothing. Just be a dead fish, motherfucker. Just be a dead fish. That's it. Just be a dead fish. That's the only way we could escape. If a man strikes their fancy, they'll continue to keep him bound in the web and have them there for these lustful, indulgent monsters. If the stubborn one decides not to show any reaction after ending up in that situation, then they'll give him an even greater pleasure to make them moan submissively. It's all in vain once the individual meekly accepts, because the sex with her will just keep growing infinitely wilder in pursuit of even greater pleasure. So they up it up no matter how many times you try to get away. They'll just keep upping the stakes. So this is definitely for like those BDSM people. Their main body and threads are weak to fire. For that reason, it's possible to avoid them and their webs to a certain degree if one carries something like a torch. Surprisingly, they are proficient in sewing, and they sometimes give clothes to their partners they like. However, to them, what it means is be mine. If one accepts, he'll be bound, and he'll have to keep having sex with it. If one accepts, and they'll be bound, and they'll have to keep having sex with them as their partner, regardless of consent. The fine and beautiful clothing that they make is even regarded as first-class goods by humans, and it fetches a high price due to the danger that accompanies arachnids as well. Even among the monsters, the demand for their line of clothing is high, as a design that incites lust, and no matter how thick it is, they can still taste the pleasure from being fondled over the clothing. Huh. So, I guess if you have a dominating personality, it will become a tug of war of who can please who. If you're submissive, that can lead into some very interesting circumstances, considering how forceful they could be. And the fact that they up whatever kind of activity to try to get your pleasure, as the bestiary kind of shows it as a very aggressive way. If you're submissive, having an arachnid seems to be, I don't know, ideal. If you're domineering, then it's a bit of a conflict of interest. If you have a switch personality, basically the arachnids are meant for bottoms. Because if we've seen from like Monster Musume with Arachnia, she exhibits that BDSM kind of personality too. She is the top, no matter what stretch of the mile. But the fact that she also has the ability to make some clothes with the threads that they have, you can't really go wrong. You just can't. So I'd say A tier. A tier is probably a good ranking. All right, we got the Arch Imp. If we can't show this either. All right. Is the mutational variant of the imp that possesses vast amounts of demonic energy within a tiny body. Wait. Yeah, I'll rock with it. Some imps will mutate into archimps if they store up enough demonic energy due to frequent sex. But then there are some who are born as archimps due to having powerful sorcerers or heroes as fathers. Their appearance is exactly like an imp, but the coloring of their wings and tail are paler, and their hair is dyed white. is a distinguishing trait that can be seen in the demon lord and her daughters, the Lilim. It's regarded as an expression that they possess a lot of demon energy and are closer to her than ever among her own kin, the Inma. As Inma, they possess vastly greater powers than higher ranked demons such as the succubus, and are capable of wielding powerful charm spells and have excellent sexual techniques. However, their intelligence is still that of a normal imps, so their childish and simple. Yep. As soon as I read that, I'll just go no-go. All right, Atlak Naka. Whoa. This is a very imposing looking Arachne. But the more that I'm reading it, abusive language has them as the lowest scum. The fact is just fuck. The fact is just Yeah, the fact that he looks like a void monster, but it's going to like no-go territory because of the descriptions. But she is a void monster. But yeah, I think I probably would do the same thing. You know what? Nah, never mind. I'll be just kind of going back. I gotta stick to my word. But I did do that with the angel. Maybe I might do the Atlak Naka. But the illustration does not kind of help in that regard. But I can just kind of skim it through. A variety of abyssal monster that lurks deep in the underground where light doesn't reach. The illustration depicts a married individual, and an unmarried individual will likely appear like a female that gives a sharp impression with only 4 spider legs growing on her back. They do not stray outside their own territory and are focused on intently continuously building a spider web ad infinitum. Sometimes when the prey shows up on the ground, as if led by something, they finally manage to reach them. The venom that flows inside the body adversely affects their own spirit, making them depressed, so they are constantly irritated. For that reason, when a prey with a peculiar mentality is aroused by their appearance, as if to vent their irritation, they react in a manner unbecoming of a monster and hurl abusive language at them as lowest scum. Where have I seen this character archetype before? They'll attempt to bite and inject venom with them. The effect of the venom in a human being does not cause irritation. Instead, it incites wicked carnal desires towards the girl in front of him. A man's spirit will become depressed, and change will come over him, so that he will have no qualms about shutting up by screwing them inside their mouths. The source of the abusive language, or pinning them down to the ground and okay, now I understand why Joel didn't continue on with this. It's just holy shit. But the way I'm trying to phrase this now is that if we age them up, yeah, if we age them up, it still seems like a no-go. But this is definitely kind of the one where this is she's basically a brat, a very depressive, demeaning brat that you probably want to shut up one way or another. Now the tentacles are endowed with raw sensitivity and emotional body. Additional results. Survival with body. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a D. D tier. Yep, D tier is pretty much the best way in order to go about it. Now we're getting to the good stuff, and we're pretty much done with A. So we're actually making good time. We're actually making good time. And we're going off with one of the best ones. The automaton. Time for optional, exactly. And the way that I've also been kind of framing things too, I've always want to make sure that it's available for any gender. That's the reason why I don't simply say human men or anything in that specific sort, unless if it's inherently specified. Because there's some flexibility that's realistically known. Hey, women like monster girls too. Trans men, trans women, non-binary. Man is also a term used for human species as well. Yeah. I try to be as neutral as possible, but slips. It slips at times. Now, let's go with the automaton. Forgive me if it's a little bit hard to read. And I guess by proxy, dolls do follow the same category as automatons, but I don't know if it's like that. Alright, a type of golem animated by extremely sophisticated magic and precise mechanisms. They are created from unknown materials, and the residual essence remaining in their power units also indicates that it was neither humans nor monsters that created them. It will be extremely difficult to create them with the current technology, and individuals currently in existence were excavated from ancient ruins and animated via demonic energy. They are expressionless and poor expressing an emotion, but they will take the initiative to help someone in danger, whether they're human or monster, and they even appear affectionate towards weak targets such as children and small animals. Huh. They're internally equipped with healing devices, weapons, but also seems more, even before their alteration due to demonic energy, the weapons were created once to only disable foes without killing them. Okay, so it's just neutralization. They regard serving others as their rising to the tear, their reason for their reasons to live. And by learning the necessary information themselves, they naturally able to provide their masters with personal care and serve as a bodyguard. Plus will faithfully carry out any order given. When they spot a human that strikes their fancy, they request permission to serve at their side as an attendant, and upon receiving permission, they will perform an action called authentication registration. For this part, they need the reproductive part of the body. And the main method involves a tongue-like mechanism inside the mouth to lick up the sweat and skin material from their finger. Well, they need the part of a body to kind of designate that. Aside from that, they may also crawl their tongue along inside the individual's mouth and absorb their saliva to obtain more detailed information. So they're just kissing you. By such means, they read the information of the individual who becomes their owner and record it with their own internal circuit, which is their core, causing all other mechanisms to recognize their master's existence. They fundamentally will not take things any further than that themselves. But even just as seductive and obscene authentication registration could be taken as sexual foreplay, and it's enough to let their master know how wonderful their service is. It isn't uncommon for the master themselves to take things further. Their lower abdomen is equipped with a body fluid extraction mechanism that was created by becoming a monster. And not only is there rocking movement of their exterior hips, their internal fluid sucking mechanism also moves separately and independently to provide pleasure for the body part of their master's enjoyment. Given that they recognize that they exist entirely to serve their master, should their master desire an obscene act, they'll offer their body with pleasure at any given time. They're resistant to impact, high temperatures, and even low temperatures. But they are weak to electricity, and if electrified, their main power core will short circuit and shut down. Because they automatically switch to reserve power, they won't cease to function. But the demonic energy they were using to operate the main power unit will instead be distributed throughout their body. So I guess they become berserk at some point. Jesus, I'm feeling a little froggy. Since they switched to the method of directly operating each of their various mechanisms, they'll appear different than normal during this time. And they'll start to behave in an extremely monster-like fashion. Hey, what's good, Denzel? This is something you might not want to have over on your work speakers, so just be warned. This is certainly not safe for work. This is certainly not safe for work, man. Are your headphones at work? Good. Normally, their facial expression doesn't indicate any emotion, but the ecstasy they get from being able to serve their master will become apparent. The desire will be laid bare by how amorously they gaze at their master while serving them. Their almost monotone voice will change to a sweet tone that doesn't even try to conceal their love. They will repeatedly mutter their master's name and reach toward their lower parts, guided by the commands being transmitted throughout their body from their central circuit. In order to restore their main power, they will acquire essence of their master, who is recorded in their central circuit. So once they enter this state, they won't hold back on service until having their insides filled with a large amount of fluids. Essence. Essence indeed. Essence, prana, mana. If everybody's played Fate, you know exactly what that means. And you know what this means too. This is S tier. Because by nature, automatons, I'm pretty sure that also includes like doll girls too. Wait, are dolls no, they're not there. So dolls are pretty much considered automatons. And I'm pretty sure a certain someone would be very happy that they're ranked up this high too. And I hope to God that he doesn't reach out and try to choke me out after this too. But I guess with the rating, he'll be very happy, let alone surprised. Well, I wouldn't say surprised because he wants everybody to see that doll girls are one of the best monster girls. But optional equipment, like Ase always says, optional equipment. Yeah, she's part of the Golden family too. Yeah, so you can kind of go any which way. They'll serve however they want to you. And the sky is pretty much the limit on what you want them to do. Plus, they have defensive equipment that you can also outfit them with. So, as long as you're not dealing with anything that has a lightning elemental, you should be fine. Unless you provide them with some sort of electric dampener or something in order to convert that electricity into powerful energy. It's legit action brutal. If you could actually disable the limiters and have her go to like something similar to like DTD, think of the possibilities, man. Think of the possibilities. But yeah, we're actually done with A. We can move on to B, the Banshee. Oh, I like her design. I like her design a lot. Okay, let me switch things up. Banshee. What better way to go? What better way to go? I mean, funnily enough, we did the Amazoness too, not so long ago. And the way that they are is just very, very interesting, to say the least. They will beat the brakes off of you in front of other people. They will beat the brakes off of you in front of other Amazoness just to show dominance. This Amazons are always going to be the ones that will pretty much treat you as the male wife. All right, let's talk about the Banshee. Banshee! Okay, monsters of dark, melancholic beauty who drape their deathly pale white skin in black garments. They're feared as omens of death and are said to appear before people on the verge of death, weeping and wailing. But it's just that they have the ability to foresee the death and suffering of humans. What's more, it is in their nature to be drawn to those who give off an air of death, and if the person happens to be a human should be attracted to them as a woman and develop powerful feelings of affection. These banshees are a race who serve Hel, goddess of life and death, and the power of the goddess is imbued in their voice when they wail for those approaching death. Those who die while listening to a banshee's wailing have the agony of death mitigated by the goddess's blessing, and will end up rising as undead after death. Does she have a beam magnum and does she like cocaine? We may never know. But she might have claws. It was at the Armed Armor VN. And she'll rip whatever clothes you have off with ease. There's that. Those who die while, and yeah, we read that, in an age where out of four Mamono lords, even though the banshees of yore had the power to foresee death and were terribly drawn to the dying, that's all there was to them. It is said that there was nothing they could do but mourn and grieve when their loved ones died right before their very eyes. It was only after the goddess Hel took pity on them and welcomed them as her underlings that they acquired their present abilities. Oh, that's nice. In modern faith of the goddess of life and death, banshees are servants of the goddess who guide the living into undeath. Man, I can't read. This is one of the curses and blessings unbreakable by death that the goddess has given to humanity. When the dead are reanimated by their power, just as in the case of necromancy, human women will easily resurrect as undead monsters. But resurrecting men requires the restoration and maintenance of the power to reduce essence. So a semi-permanent supply of mana will be required, namely a monster to copulate with the resurrected man as his partner and continue to provide mana. That's when the other power imbued in a banshee's voice comes into play. Though melancholic, their beautiful wailing arouses carnal desires in men soon after resurrection, and when a man's capacity for thought is shaky, directing an unsettled consciousness at the banshee. Just as the man raises as an undead, he'll end up sexually forcing the Yeah. He'll end up making the move toward the banshee, wailing beside him. In other words, they offer their own bodies as a sacrifice to the men that they guide into undeath, and eternally continue accompanying their husbands' souls with love and pleasure. Furthermore, they're extremely easily moved to tears. Besides the death of a human, they also weep over little things, and all those tears arouse carnal desires in their husbands, making them lust after them. If their husband is sad, they shed tears as if they were their own sadness, consoling the husband by venting his gloomy feelings in the forms of lust. They soon shed tears, of course, when their beloved man rises as an undead, but also whenever something makes them happy, such as when their husband whispers to them of love. Such tears also incite lust inside the husband, and the joy of having sex with their husband also causes them to let out tearful cries of ecstasy, which turns them on even more. I have a very oh, this is just oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's legit that one meme I see like some people post. May the tears you weep today lube up the cheeks you'll clap tomorrow. This is the banshee. This is legit the banshee. This is legit the banshee. May the tears you weep today lube up the cheeks you'll clap tomorrow. End of story. This is it. And I am not moving from that particular phrase whatsoever. This is legit. Particular. Yeah. I would honestly go. Like, here's the thing with me. I'm not really into hearing a whole lot of crying. It just kind of nerves me at that point, but. Where'd I get what? Where'd I get what? I would say this is C tier. She has a nice body, but the fact they have to hear so much wailing is just it doesn't sound enticing, you know? It doesn't sound enticing unless if you like to hear someone cry so much. All right, now moving on to the Baphomet. And I'll try to age this up as much as possible, but I feel that this is also already no-go territory because of how she looks. All right. Not possible. Yeah. Just read a thing under the photo. Yep, nope, that's no-go. That's definitely no-go territory. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Nope, nuh-uh. And if anybody ever even thinks about making that comment about, oh, age is just a number, so is a jail cell, so is a life sentence, so is the amount of distance you have to be restricted from getting near a freaking elementary school. You motherfuckers. All right, let me see if barrel miss is possible. Oh yeah, let me show you the rankings that I have. Let me show you how I do my rankings actually. So rankings are as followed, but I do want to highlight this one in particular. Special. NG or no go, reserved for monster girls that exhibit obviously childlike behaviors or traits. There are possible short stacks, mature girls that are small in stature, but the risk is too great to hazard a proper ranking. basically characters that exhibit already lolicon traits are not a safe one to really do a ranking for. I could try to age them up as much as I can, but if they already have like something already set in stone that leans toward that, I can't really do much about that. So, for the sake of sincerity and to avoid any kind of trouble, this is a special kind of ranking that I give for them. Okay, as for the rankings I have up here, S rank is the upper echelon of what a monster girl can provide: satisfaction, options, flexibilities, or any gender orientation. These are the ones you'd be willing to die happy with or would die fighting for. A tier, high tier in their own right, but still slightly fall short from excellence. Still has amazing qualities that translates to other genders that make them viable options regardless of circumstance. B tier, moderately satisfying, but has plenty of faults that make him appealing, but none to commit to relationship wise. C, less than viable option, but still provides some level of satisfaction. However, the faults outweigh the benefits and would much rather pass and go instead of sticking around. Seems rigid in terms of flexibility. D, seldom a thought of even looking at them. They aren't even worth the pity either. They may even have one diamond in the rough quality, but the negatives outweigh the positives greatly. And F, outright avoid, can't be asked to be around even on a casual basis. That's what I have as the ranking. Okay, so we have the Baromets. A mysterious plant-type monster that is said to grow fruit in the form of a sheep. And so the jelly-like flesh of the fruit is a sheep beast man covered in fluffy cotton wool. The monster uses it to absorb essence, which feeds it on tempting humans by having sex, and after fertilization produces seeds. During the mating season, they release cotton fluff from their bodies that is light enough to be carried by the wind. When the cotton fluff drifting in the air reaches a human being, the sweet fragrance and thick demonic energy contained within bursts all around, acclimating the individual's mind and body with the fragrance and energy of a Baromet. Regardless of them secreting less nectar compared to their ancestral progenitors, they're able to carry out their own sin and demonic energy far away to reach their targets in this manner. On this occasion, the individual won't go wild with lust on the spot and immediately rush out to find them, but they'll strongly desire the fragrance imprinted in their brain, and become able to sensitively sniff it out and actually be drawn to the source of the fragrance, which is their main body. Eventually, the body will react sensitively if the nose catches even a hint of the fragrance emanating from the main body. They'll journey to reach them while feeling intense passion, even though he has yet to lay eyes on them. And they lay eyes on them. They take those enticed in this manner into the flesh of the fruit, submerging their lower body and joining with them. The firmness of this fruity flesh can be adjusted according to their will, and when taking the individual inside, their body will easily sink. But once inside, they'll wrap them up and won't let go. Same with the Lorun. Yeah. Even if someone tries to pull their hips away, the elastic, bouncy flesh of the fruit will push them back, and naturally their hips will crash right into hers. If they try to move even the slightest bit, their hips will bounce because of the flesh of the fruit. And if they move violently, he'll be knocked by a rebound of the fruit that is accordingly powerful in return. So basically, you're in the bounce house no matter what, and there's no escaping from the bounce house. And the bounce house, you're always crashing into something or someone. Once this happens, their hips slam together, and both of their hips will rebound and their hips will be slammed together again and again. As this repeats, they'll end up having continuous sex. They won't be, the individual won't be able to stop their hips from bouncing on his own will. And every time their hips crash into theirs, they'll be attacked with a burst of pleasure. This is probably the most intense bounce house. And it's like, it's the rubber and glue effect too. The more that you try to get away, the further and harder you get flung against her. Yep, that's definitely the bounce for that ounce. But that's a lot more than an ounce. That's definitely more than an ounce. When it was a fruit taste, I'm pretty sure it's very, very sweet. But I'm pretty sure it's also an aphrodisiac too. So do you really want to hazard that just eating it on its own? Okay. Yeah, it actually does talk about that. The exquisite cotton can be collected from the remains of the fluff. It remains fluffy no matter how much time passes, as well as to the packet without the fragrance and demonic energy leaking out, and without it deteriorating. The fruit surrounding them is also exquisitely sweet tasting. Both are highly popular and high demand, but their husbands have unanimously claimed her body is even better. Of course, he would. It may just be that they're enthralled from having sex with them, but their body is always soaked in fruit juice. The juice-soaked body is also soft and vivacious as the flesh of the fruit. And just looking, it causes a thick sweetness to spread throughout the mouth. It said that the juice dripping from the body and the bodily fluids they secrete are sweet nectar of the finest, highest quality. Husbands enjoy more than just intercourse, and many become engrossed in licking and slurping every inch of their body, as well as sucking their lips and intertwining their tongues in order to sip the fruit juice that accumulates from their mouth. There is unanimous agreement about how delicious they are, but since licking their body and kissing them is something that they strictly only permit their husbands to do, tasting their body is a privilege reserved for their husbands. So the fruit is sweet, but the body is sweeter. No aphrodisiac, just very, very sweet. There always, it looks like something. If anything, it's like a probably like mango or guanabana. It's very, very sweet. But the thing with the Laura Un types, once you're in there, there's no getting out. You're pretty much part of the plant. But I would say this is B tier. Honestly, I don't really dig the whole bounty castle effect. Honestly, like you can make for some very interesting moment, but in actuality, who's gonna get hurt the most? The one that actually has the means in order to negate the effect, the speed that you're going, or the one that's getting constantly thrusted around. The plans don't let you out. If we've read from the Laura Un, you become one with them. They don't let you out that easily. But by that point, you're so stuck in the nectar that it's impossible to just get out on your own terms. All right, we have the basilisk, which is another type of lamia. And I can't show this on stream. I can't show this on stream either because of the left picture. The baromeds, I'm pretty sure they will let you out. But the thing is, it's if you want to get out. That's the other question. You've already tasted her just enough to the point where it is impossible to get out on your own terms too. You just want to have more of that sweetness. But let's move on to the basilisk. Looks pretty nice too. A race of lamia that has an upper body of a woman and a lower body of a snake, and covered in plumage. The disposition is docile and very quiet, and not only are they passive about forcing themselves onto others, they won't even get close to humans. They dwell in quiet locations where there are no signs of people. Is she one of my own? Is she an introvert? She is an introvert. They have evil eyes with dreadful venom that will ruin a person just from being exposed to their gaze. This extremely potent venom relaxes all the muscles in the prey's body, rendering them unable to move, at the same time causing the prey to heat up with a feeling of ecstasy equivalent to that of a burning sensation of a monster in heat, and the prey becomes unable to think clearly. Furthermore, the essence inside the prey's body is distorted. Distorted essence leaks from the body much more easily, and when it spills out, it swells so much that it's ready to burst. Even the slightest stimulation will cause a release of fluids as the dam has been broken. Along with this, it makes it easy to absorb demonic energy into the body, so it results in a state where conversion into incubus or monsterization can easily occur. Moreover, the distorted essence is as virulent as the basilisk venom, and even newly produced essence will be converted into the venom that violates one's own body. For that reason, for detoxification, it is necessary to have all the venom sucked out, or have all the body's essence sucked out dry in one session at the hands of a monster. It is said that in the age of the former demon lords, the lord's basilisk's deadly venom was such that it could kill a human in a single glare. The monsters no longer rob humans of their lives in the current era, but still, if a human's essence is completely sucked out for the sake of detoxification, they will certainly be transformed into either an incubus or a monster. So the fact that it brings about the end to one's life as a human in a single glare probably hasn't changed. In this manner, they do possess powerful evil eyes, but they cannot control them well, kind of like Cyclops in X-Men. For that reason, they always hide their face with something such as a mask to seal the power of their evil eyes. With their normal vision obstructed, they instead use heat sensing and essence detection in their place of field of vision. The mask also has a role of making it so that they won't confirm a man by sight. This is because should they directly catch the sight of a human man, they would be unable to control their love and desire for the man, and end up going wild and attacking them. With their evil eyes exposed, even if they can't control the power of their eyes, they follow the monster instincts unconsciously and direct their deadly venomous gaze towards a man. They will be reduced to a mere prey waiting to be eaten as they coil their serpentine lone body around his body. After entwining their womanly body and gluing both bodies together, they'll persistently copulate over long periods of time until all the man's fluids is milked dry and the venom is removed. While the hips are glued together and semen is being released, they'll continually gaze at the man who has gone from being their prey to their husband, and with the evil eyes full of obsession in a manner befitting of the Lamia family. And then, they fill their husband's body with venom imbued with their love, and ruin him with the pleasure of ejaculating within her incessantly. They possess dangerous evil eyes, but as long as no unforeseen accident occurs locally, they almost never take off the mask themselves. Before they take off the mask and lose control of themselves, they do have weak points as well. If they sniff a man's body odor from up close or have a man whisper in their ears, they'll turn bright red and collapse. According to them, it seems the stimulation was too intense when wearing a mask. So that's the best way to disarm them. So if you have that manly musk, If that musk, or you just whisper sweet nothing to them, they will fall apart like a Jenga tower. But the intensity that they have is quite something. But the risk is just too great if their mask falls off. But Lamias are, the more that I read about Lamias, the better I have an opinion towards them. Honestly. I was never really feeling the whole lore snake body, but I do have a Apophis at A tier, but this one in particular just hits a very specific strike range for me. You ever felt snakeskin? No. Well, actually, yes, it's kind of coarse. Depending on the kind of snake, however. The Basilisk in particular. Fuck! Yes, it says here. Just the characteristics alone. And like I said, willing to die for, or willing to die fighting for. Willing to die with and willing to die fighting for. So Basilisk is S tier, in my eyes. Part and parcel, no questions asked. Alright, it's almost 12. We're making good progress, and we should be getting to C pretty soon. Hopefully we actually do get to the Chimera before then. B, nope. Nope. Let me look for the target phrase too. Nope. I think it might be safe to try to age him up a little bit. A bug-type monster also referred to the Lord of Flies. The body is small, but they possess tremendous amounts of magical energy, and they fly around the sky at high speeds using wings on their back. They're also called the Lord of Gluttony, and the lust and appetite are extremely ravenous. They are dangerous monsters. Whenever they see food, they devour it. Whenever they see a human, they try to attack and force themselves upon them. They're capable of eating anything. What they prefer is the sweat, saliva, and body fluids of humans. To them, humans are a treat as prioritized above all else. If there is someone in front of them, they'll thoroughly lick up all the sweat all over their body. Thrust their tongue in his mouth and greedily, oh my god. Holy shit. They are so ravenous as to be regarded as lords of gluttony. So of course they aren't satisfied with just one. If they take a liking to an individual, they stay in the area, flying around them, frequently attacking the individual in pursuit of sex. In this way, they're extremely dangerous monsters, but also symbiotic of bountiful harvests. Once they've taken a liking to someone, no matter how much food is devoured by them, even more food and wealth will be accumulated. No matter how much one has sex with them and releases fluids, they will never run out of stamina and lust and they'll instead become able to fire even more fluids at them. They're extremely selfish, and they eat whenever they feel like it, and attack when they feel like attacking. No, that's so annoying little... She is a legit pest. She is a legit pest. Even if one objects to what they're doing, they generally won't listen. They won't listen at all. Instead, you'll be pushed down on the spot and deliciously devoured. Since they're drawn to the scent of food scraps and the odor of human sweat, if you don't wish to be attacked, you'd best keep your Okay, so this is for really nasty, dirty motherfuckers. The ones that probably don't even have the rooms cleaned. Or the house cleaned. Just an absolute pigsty. So, since I like to keep a clean life, that is an F tier. The first F tier of the day. The first F tier of the list. Be gone, fly. Shoo. Shoo. You probably won't even know when or how to get out of a fucking window if it's open. All right. Bicorn. Can I show this on stream? I can show it on screen because he's just kissing someone. But now we're in Centaur territory. Centaur territory. Okay. I know what you're gonna say. I say don't. The bicorn is a variant of a unicorn that has an alluring black coat and 2 horns. If a unicorn has sex with a non-virgin, or the husband cheats on her, the demonic energy of the husband's other partners along their essence pours into her. Due to this, the demonic energy of the unicorn, which had been kept pure, becomes mixed with another woman's demonic energy and gets corrupted, changing into the demonic energy of a bicorn. This, in turn, changes the unicorn into a bicorn. Jesus Christ, this is just a little bit too much mixed matching. Again, fucking tongue tie here. Unicorn. Kotaito! They have the same gentle disposition and graceful behavior as other unicorns. However, their true nature is exceeding lascivious. And these monsters are regarded as a symbol of impurity, celebrating lustful hedonist existence. Though wildly lustful, bicorns do not forcibly impose themselves on their targets, but they are adept in ways of arousing lust in their prey. Those that go after them will be unable to resist their sweet temptation and will eventually have sex with them, exactly opposite of the monogamous unicorn. So this is the promiscuous one, whereas the unicorn only deserves one. I guess that makes sense why a unicorn only had one pilot instead of Banshee. Moving on. Is a bicorn's nature to prefer a polygamous harem arrangement where their husband has as many monsters as wives. As far as they're concerned, the husband becomes more lustful, hedonistic existence by having sex with many monsters, also letting many women know the taste of their beloved husband brings them more joy than anything else. So this thing's a fucking swinger. Additionally, the husband's essence gets mixed in and corrupted with the demonic energy of various monsters, becomes like a cocktail, and is said to be a bicorn's favorite treat. Normally, the demonic energy monsters pour into the male asserts that he belongs to them and functions to repel other monsters. However, the scent of a male's essence infused with bicorn's demonic energy ends up becoming thicker and stronger, which causes him to become extremely attractive and delicious looking to other monsters. She does like the horse of fuck. Fuck you. I should have come up with that. She does like the horse around a lot. Okay, where was I? Just the opposite of the monster, the bicorn's demonic energy attracts other monsters to the husband. Of course, this goes for the woman who caused a unicorn to become a bicorn. But if there are any other women whom their husband desires, or vice versa, she'll train them into and SAT words thrown in for no fucking reason. lascivious monsters that are appropriate partners for her and her husband, making them a member of the harem for the husband's sake. Even should their husband be resistant toward the idea of a harem, she'll lure him into it by sprouting the seeds and fanning his desires for other women. Additionally, every time a new monster joins the harem, the Bicorn's demonic energy grows relatively thinner. So there's a limit to the number of members, but it's probably easy to make small-scale harems about 5 or 6 people. So yes, she is a fucking swinger. She'll constantly have swinger parties. And she's certainly in for sloppy seconds, too. Yeah, very much that. Want to harem? Start the Bicorn. Yeah, her design's pretty cool, too. Has that nice little gothic look to her. But it's always a conflict of interest because when Centaurea all over again. It's Centaurea all over again. She has a nice body, but the fact that she has the lower body of a horse. I did like Centaurea. It's just the fact that it's just that fact. It's the horse body that just you're just gonna get slapped with a title no matter what. You're just gonna become horse fucker for the rest of your freaking life. I did like Centaurea. I think she wasn't my. Hey, what's good, Liam? Fancy seeing you here on this moment of degeneracy that I'm spewing it out. Horse ass. No, I think it was there was like a one edit of the panel. One edit of the panel where it's just like Dolahan saying up close, horse pussy. Yeah, Centaurea was always the fact that she was trying to like come off as a knight already made her adorable. They already made her adorable. She actually has a really good personality. But you can never escape the fact that it's no. I was saying that there's a panel edit of like Monster Musume, the manga that someone made where it's just the dual hand character, I forgot her name, saying horse pussy. I forgot what the concept of the conversation was though, but I think it was something with mating in mind. Yeah, Centaurea. No. Dolahan. The Dolahan was making a comment about her. All right, Bicorn. Like with me, I don't like harems. I'm a pretty monogamous person, so. But if I were to be a bit fair, the body does seem pretty nice. The design looks pretty nice too. But I'm gonna have to slap her with a C rank. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slap a C rank on her. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have the Black Harpy. And my god, goth girl material. Goth girl material. Already she looks like she's shopped at Hot Topic. Like, Hot Topic of yore, not the new Hot Topic. It just ain't the same. Okay. A race of harpies that have charming onyx wings. Although they're a clever race, particularly having the highest intelligence of all harpies, on the other hand, they are exceedingly belligerent and ferocious. It's that they even attack humans, robbing food as well as precious metals, gemstones, and the like, which they have a penchant for. Unlike harpies, they'll aggressively abduct and violate humans, even when it's not their breeding season. When hunting, they are merely driven by the urges of breeding season. Instead, attacks are calculated in a cunning and meticulous manner. Word has it that sometimes they even flock together and attack groups. They are extremely lustful towards their mate and become obsessed with them. After bringing back their prey to their nest, they spend their time nestled closely, making love, and they enjoy aggressively copulating. Due to their strong temperament and aggressive nature, and of course is furious, and they like to take the lead most of the— oh my god. But on the other hand, contrary to harpies, they lose their ferocity when it becomes breeding season, and their usual boldness dies down. When breeding season visits, their mind and body are dominated by the urge to seek a male and get pregnant, and the sense of pleasure and fulfillment that they experience during copulation is amplified by leaps and bounds to the point where they can no longer maintain their composure while enjoying it as they usually do. They'll start falling over the male in pursuit of the joy of a female and begging for intercourse. Black harpies have a strong sense of camaraderie, but on the other hand, they're exceedingly wary of those who aren't friends. They threaten those who approach their nests in an intimidating manner, and if one of their friends is harmed, a flock of black harpies will rush the foreign enemy at once. They treat their mates and children with especially great care, and if someone were to harm their precious family at the moment, that someone would be making an enemy of all the black harpies. If looks could kill, then these sharp looks would be coming for their countless pairs, and shining eyes would do it. And a black swarm vicious to the point of ruthlessness would engulf the enemy. On the other hand, they gently smile sweetly and lovingly at their family and express affection by gently wrapping them in their soft black feather wings. Legit goth girl energy. Legit goth girl energy. They have an off season and an on season too. S tier. S. For sure. That makes 3 S tiers so far. To have a loving family with her too? Yeah. Fuck, why not? Why not? Why the fuck not? And she seems like the kind of person that would probably spout out like random poetry lines too, just to kind of entice you. Just to really sweeten the deal. Quite a lot. S tier, for sure. Because I like a little bit of aggression here and there. It's fun to see someone be capable of kicking your ass. Because I've always said this too. Let me also move around the mic cable so it's not too much in the way. That's in the way of a lot of electronics though. Hopefully I can fix that. No, actually, give me a sec. Just gotta unplug my mic real quick. Should be better now. All right, let's move on. Hmm. Yeah, that's it. That's the line. I love a type of one that could actually just, let's play it. Let's just play it.
I love the kind of woman that will actually just kill me. You know, when I left the house today, I was thinking, damn, I really hope some hot chick paints my brains all over some fucking hallway. And here we are. I mean, really, just absolutely destroy me. I'm talking full-on watermelon in the thighs level carnage. And I wanted to scare the shit out of me. I mean, I hope I piss myself. I hope I piss myself and you call me your little pee-pee piss boy. I want you to fuck
me up.
I mean, I want you to make
me your bitch.
Your little pee-pee
bitch.
I want it to get embarrassing. I mean, like, weirdly embarrassing. Unsanitary, too. We should be entirely different people by the end of the first 8 hours. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I mean, I'm a real freak. I'm not normal. Ma'am, please, you have to crush me.
Stay gold fucking Johnny. All right, yeah. Let me say anything.
I love the kind of woman that will actually just kill me. You know, when I left the house today, I was thinking, damn.
Y'all think I'm gonna see too.
Some hot chick paints my brains all over some fucking hallway. And here we are. I mean, really, just absolutely destroy me. I'm talking
full-on watermelon in the thighs level carnage.
And
I want to scare the shit out of me.
I mean, I hope I piss myself. I hope I piss myself and you call me your little pee-pee piss boy. I want you to fuck me up. I mean, I want you to make me your bitch. Your little pee-pee piss myself bitch. I want it to get embarrassing. I mean, like, weirdly embarrassing. Unsanitary, too. We should be entirely different people by the end of the first 8 hours. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I mean, I'm a real freak. I'm not normal. Ma'am, please, you have to crush me.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Cursed Sword. I don't know. I'm having my second thoughts about Cursed Sword, to be quite honest, but we'll see how it plays out. Next up, Blue Oni. I think I put this on the stream. Do I have seat cushions? No, I don't think I have seat cushions. I do have like a one that's for like a neck rest, but not really that. So maybe I should get that as well, along with the foam roll. All right, let me switch up. All right, the Blue Oni, distinguished by 2 horns growing out of his forehead, and his namesake Blue Skin, is a type of ogre called an Oni that only inhabits in the Zipanga region. Like all Oni, they have a fierce disposition and extraordinary strength. They're feared by humans as monsters, but they're actually quite intelligent and rational. They also have a calm side to themselves, which is very atypical for an Oni. For that reason. And for that reason, unlike others of their kind, they don't randomly assault humans either. They can often be seen hanging around other Oni, such as Red Oni, because of their disposition. They often serve as the brains of the group, controlling the rest and restraining their emotional and coercive actions. As previously mentioned, even if Blue Oni find men who strike their fancy, they won't try to force themselves onto them randomly. But that's only true when they're sober. Just like red oni, sake is their favorite thing. And if there's someone that they like, they'll probably aggressively invite them to go drinking. However, they aren't able to handle their liquor at all. They're absolute fucking lightweights. Rather, they get dead drunk from just drinking a lot of sake, and once they get drunk off of sake, rationality and self-control gets thrown out the fucking window. Their face turns bright red, and upon revealing the lewd, drunken side of themselves, they become so lustful and ferocious that even the red oni pales in comparison. Their true nature as monsters is revealed through sake, and traces of their ordinary intellectual personality can no longer be seen. They be completely transformed into lecherous perverts who seek pleasure in essence, thinking about nothing but sex with humans. Naturally, whenever they're drinking, if there's a human nearby, they assault and force themselves right away, so they can enjoy the taste of essence along with their sake. What's even more troubling, in spite of the fact that they get drunk so easily, they have a high level of maximum alcohol tolerance, inappropriate for an oni. Who only can drink sake infinitely, becoming infinitely drunk, and grow infinitely lustful. And the feast of flesh tinged with sake and pleasure and essence will continue until either sake runs out or the man passes out. Once they sober up, they go back to the intellectual state, but being monsters, if they like someone and deem it most worthy as both a partner and a sake snack. If you can see my reaction, you probably know what the fuck am I just really reading here. A sake snack. Then they'll never let him go. And then the man will have to then the individual will end up having to party, get drunk, and copulate profusely with her every night. Additionally, they'll have a much stronger sense of shame compared to Oni. And it easily comes to the surface. Because of this, whenever they recollect what they did while they were drunk, or even listen to a scene or a sexual story, they become so embarrassed that their faces turn bright red like that of an Oni. I'll take a look at that too. Oh. Oh shit. Whoops. Let me switch back. And once I slap a ranking on the blue Oni, I'm gonna head to the bathroom real quick. And with this, the blue Oni, I can safely say, is D tier. Nothing's more chaotic than a chaotic drunk. I mean, they have the body and all, but no. Nah. They may be the most intelligent, but if anything else is thrown into the mix, like alcohol, to the point where they just absolutely become blackout drunk, nah. I'm good on that. I'm absolutely good on that. And we're on to the best race here. We're on to the absolute guaranteed top tiers, no matter all across the board, maybe with the exception of one that I skimmed through. But I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I'm back and better than ever. All right, let me bring the chat. All right, bubble slime. Bubble slime. Oh, you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the most biased bullshit you'll ever hear. A type of slime, a bubble slime. A type of slime that lives in dark, wet places like sewers and caves. They're intelligent enough to speak human words, but their thinking process is extremely simple. Guided by instinct, they wander around in search of prey. They produce a strong odor from their liquid bodies, so one will likely know right away when they're close by. Their bodies are always carrying out chemical reactions, which cause pieces of them to be released into the air as bubbles. Perhaps due to this, they need to eat a lot more than an ordinary slime to sustain their bodies, and in turn are extremely greedy. When they find someone, they attack them, and through something similar to sexual intercourse, they try to take their fluids. But compared to ordinary slimes, they're not as sticky and move much more slowly. So they're not very good at holding their prey down, and it tends to escape before long. Because of this, they perform something like a kiss on the captured prey and pour some of their own body inside their mouth. The body of a bubble slime has an aphrodisiac effect when consumed and is extremely addictive. Due to this, prey that has been swallowing it will likely begin to greatly desire the slime's body. If only a little is swallowed, the effect will go away after a short time, but if a large amount is imbibed, the prey will become strongly dependent on her body, and the odor will start to become extremely pleasant scent to him. If this happens, then it's already too late. And it's too late to apologize. It's too late. And the individual will no longer be able to live without the bubble slime. Also, it's said that they produce an offensive odor because they live in terrible environments. Their bodies will take in toxins and convert them into harmful substances and release it. For that reason, if you take them out of the sewers or other such areas and live in a clean place for a while, the foul odor will completely disappear. Once the foul odor is gone, they will release a good scent that is surprisingly distinct. The odor sensed by those who become dependent on the bubble slimes is a likely powerful version of this. I have to say A tier. I also have to say A tier. But only because of the setting. I wouldn't imagine actually drinking a slime too. But if it's just through a kiss, it's just fine as well. And the thing about slimes is that they are very, they have a very high potential they have a lot of potential. But the ones that can actually shapeshift are the ones that tend to have the most broken qualities. Imagine him literally dumpster diving for a waifu. Yeah. That's called online dating, man. Online dating is a dumpster dive. All right, let's go with Bogey. And let me put this up on screen because it's safe. Yeah, slime's a high tier minimum. They are. So most of them are going to either fall in S or A rank, depending. All right. They have the same curious features found in other Oni, but the horns on their head and their fluffy big arms seem like soft plush toys stuffed full of cotton. No matter the region, there is a common story that is told by parents to children. If you don't stop crying, an Oni's going to come and kidnap you. But these girls are actually the source of such oral traditions, being said to appear before children who cannot stop crying with those with deep sadness, even in absence of tears. Upon spotting prey that fits the criteria, they embrace the target lightly in their big, soft, fluffy arms. The gentle, warm embrace has the power to alleviate the target's anxiety, fear, and the like, so no matter how stubborn the individual may be, once hugged in those arms, they'll want to indulge in their affection, like an honest child, spontaneously entrusting themselves to their soft body. Once their prey is rendered powerless in this manner, they start relentlessly soothing, consoling, and so on, until the prey stops crying and their sadness is healed. Sometimes, as part of the process, they take their prey back to the lair, which is probably what gave rise to the traditional stories. Also due to either the charms of their devilish nature or the natures of males. For the most part, those hugged by them will seek their body, be it consciously or unconsciously. On that occasion, the Bogi will not hesitate to try and use their own bodies to console the individual. Given the level of devotion they likely show, it's practically as if their own arms, mouth, and their own arms, mouth, and dick and gums. Okay. It's probably as if their own arms, mouth, and dick engulfing vagina exists expressly to soothe and comfort you. Oh, it was so wholesome. It was so kind of wholesome, and then all of a sudden, dick engulfing vagina comes into the picture. Oh no, it's hitting me. And once the prey's sadness healed, the time they spoil their prey, giving into their every desire as if to say, "Good boy, here's your reward for stopping your crying." And then they spend the entire day having sex. The good boy. It hits hard. It hits hard so much. Sugar, honey, good boy. Just a mature woman saying that is just arrow to the heart. Arrow to the freaking heart. Even after that, they continue to cuddle with their prey, consoling them with their bodies should they ever get sad again. And once it's healed, they resume giving them their endless reward. In other words, to them, a husband is not only an outlet for the passion, but also an outlet for the overflowing protective urges, which mean they have chosen that prey as their life partner, the one they will spend their entire life continuing comforting. Furthermore, the concept of child is far off from the human notion of what constitutes as a child. Whether the individual's age or appearance is actually that of a child is irrelevant, and coy adult-looking individuals, even middle-aged, will outwardly look even older than themselves, be contacted by them and treated as children, so long as they have sadness in their hearts. In other words, children to them is none other than a word that indicates humans in general. In actuality, since they appear before those who weren't given love and are unable to heal their sadness, mothers who show their kids in love like the ones who tell those stories, won't actually have their kids snatched away. Instead, it's those who can't get any love from their parents, such as orphans who never had anyone to love them in the first place, or adult men with nobody to even cling to, that have a heart continuously filling with sadness, that are the ones that would most likely visit. Yeah, this is pretty much mom vibes. This is legit mom. Yeah, it's just like that one SCP. Yeah, so Bokies are definitely S tier. They're absolutely S tier. Because it's hard on these streets. And something like a mother's embrace would be very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. Shit, I need that myself too. I need that myself. And there's also another bogey, but I think I'm going to pronounce it boogie. All right. Let's move on to the next one, the boogie. Oh, yep. We're down to clown, baby. We are down to clown. And this is also safe to put up on stream too. All right. Yeah, I don't have a fear of clowns. A bizarre-looking monster with the appearance of a clown whose white fingers drip with red drops of mana. The tales of the boogie have been handed down and are traditionally used by parents to warn children that bad guests get kidnapped by Onis. They are said to appear before selfish and misbehaving children. When assaulting their prey, they have a zany attitude and behave as though they are clowns about to begin their performance, and treat their prey as their customer. Being smooth talkers with exaggerated gestures, all the words uttered from their mouth will somehow be provocative and luring. And those who hear their opening remarks will be filled with a premonition that something fun or dreadful is about to begin. After that, after filling the target with fear and anticipation, they begin their performance by stroking their partner's parts with their hands in a seemingly fun manner, mounting them and making their body dance smoothly on top of them. Should their prey helplessly ejaculate from this, they'll be hooting and tooting, heaping mountains of praise upon them in the most exaggerated fashion, like it's the biggest deal. Also, they hype it up. Their essence milking is not violent, and above all else, they aim to give their prey a fun and pushable experience. But men assaulted by them will nevertheless most often be stricken by a terrible fear while still wanting at the same time, resulting in a state of extreme confusion. Dick's confused. I don't know why. This is because they have the power to inflame and expose human emotions. As to say, in their presence, anyone would openly express their feelings like a child. So when they scare their prey by saying, "I'm gonna eat you," even if it's contrived like a storybook villain, of course, children, but even adults too, will get so terrified that they'll look ready to burst into tears. On one hand, because of this power, the clownish appearance and essentially milking needlessly, essence milking needlessly arouse more fear. But on the other hand, at a glance, it feels like one is being made fun of based on how they act during ejaculation, which fills their prey with a strong sense of affirmation, causing them to seek more. When the performance is finished, their prey is released, but regardless of whether they want it or not, the frequency and extremity of their performances will increase day by day. They'll eventually start dreaming of her. While they are terrifying to their prey, they become absolute beings the absolute being, that provide affirmation and joy. Once the prey has lost their backbone from the joy of being affirmed by such a being, just like how a child would entrust their body and heart to their mother, who is absolute to them. They'll pour out their heart and question, and when she cajoles them by whispering, "If you'll be a good boy, next time we'll do even fun." Oh my god! They'll desperately try to abide by by her words. In this way, their prey is reformed into honest, good boys. What's more, the children they acknowledge as prey are not the same as the children they acknowledge according to human values. Looks and actual age have absolutely nothing to do with it. Same thing with the bogey. Due to their power, even a major scoundrel of advanced age leading a band of rogues would be a little more than a child who will serve as prey to them. In actuality, they appear before children who have no parents to correct their misbehavior, children whose parents won't even correct them, and adults who can no longer reflect on their own conduct. They never snatch kids from the kind of good parents who tell the kids their story. If they happen to appear before someone who wasn't a bad person in the first place, then they'll act like a clown with their goal purely being to entertain their partner. And they can even be seen amusing children with ordinary tricks. If a good individual expresses fondness towards a boogie, and she is desired, she will offer herself up gleefully and become a devoted spouse who will exhaust every effort to pleasurably amuse their partner as their personal jester. However, there is no end to the lengths they will go into their attempts to amuse their husband. Moreover, they have spiteful personalities, so they will hardly ever express their devotion simply by doing as their husband tells them. Living with a bookie means that one's days will be bursting with unpredictable surprises and extraordinary pleasure. Yeah, this is anti-brat. And the fact that if you're living with a boogie, you're pretty much going to be in a constant circus. Yeah. I like how she looks, though. I really do like how she looks. So, she's an A tier. Moscow time, it's pretty much an NSFW. Very NSFW. But I'm making sure that I'm screening the images beforehand so we don't come up with a one that's going to get us yeeted off Twitch. Okay, so back to the document. Boogie and Bogey is marked down. Next, we have the Bunyip, which is probably like a bunny girl or something. Oh, never mind. That's a Lamia. Also, what's good, Max? Join in on the fun. All right, the Bunyip. This seems very safe to put on stream too, so let me do that. There we go. A kind of lamia that lurks by the watersides. Their body is covered in fur and the eyes emit an uncanny light. They have a large build for a lamia family monster and possess both superhuman strength and agility, using a long tail as a spring to launch themselves at their prey. That's kind of terrifying. The bestial nature dwelling within them is extremely powerful, and since their reproductive urges are ferocious, they are feared as a race that aggressively attacks individuals. Despite the ferocity of their appearance, on the contrary, normally, they are so quiet it's eerie, and that they live by concealing their body in water in order to hide. For that reason, they are frequently mistaken as beasts with bird beaks, beasts with giant tails, and so on, by many who have witnessed them, and are often treated as an unidentifiable monster. They move around inside the water without making a sound, and when they spot someone, after gazing fixedly at them, they launch themselves upon them without so much a warning. You're going to get speared every single time, you don't even know it. On the other hand, these beings are endowed with high intelligence who also possess enough reason to suppress their bestial nature under normal circumstances. If you can come in contact with them, you'll probably be able to catch a glimpse of their quiet and timid nature too. However, despite being able to converse, it doesn't seem to be their strong point, and they're extremely poor at conversing with men in particular. For example, I've heard that even if they think they want to become intimate with a man, they aren't able to express it in words, and their head goes blank in the presence of the man, so they become unable to speak properly. So they just fold upon the sight of someone else. In other words, when they appear to be gazing fixedly at the prey, it's actually that they're worrying about how to strike up a conversation with a man. And when they suddenly leap up on them, it's the result of their own urges going out of control due to confusion. So they're actually they're socially awkward. They are socially awkward. It's just striking a little bit too much to home. Typical of Lamia, they prefer to coil their serpentine lower half around their partner's body and use their entire body to embrace them. From the way they closely adhere to their husband with their entirety of their body, we can see the obsession with males typical of serpent monsters. But at the same time, the seemingly genuine happiness they appear to exhibit as they draw their face closer to their partner makes them also appear just like a little girl hugging out their precious stuffed toy and refusing to let go. If they don't know how to let go properly, our backs might be broken. Even among the Lamia family of monsters, the serpentine body is actually soft, and their mana-imbued fur doesn't lose its fluffy feeling even after soaking up in water. So they're proud of feeling extraordinarily good to hug. Rightfully so. Their body is devilish even in a different sense than that of a succubus or Enma. And it's said that when wrapped in their body, the person embraced will feel so pleasantly comfortable that he will lose strength and surrender himself. Now I smell another S tier. When they've succumbed to their bestial nature, sex with them is like being mercilessly wrung dry of mana by a monster that seized hold of its prey. Violently ferocious. After losing it, they probably don't feel any resistance to their own state. However, when not in that state, even when coiled around their husband embracing him, they also appear to blush out of embarrassment for what they've done, like an innocent young woman. And even when having sex, they'll move their hips in a timid manner while paying close attention to signs from their husbands. Yet, just like how when the prey is taken into the giant maw of a monster lined with sharp fangs, where the slightest little nibble will inflict fatal wounds, even when they barely shake their hips, regardless of the intentions of the bunny herself, violent pleasure will be induced in the Wait, I didn't notice they have a beak. Hold up. The violent pleasure will be induced in the lower region being snapped up, and will lead to ejaculation as if being greedily devoured. And we got ourselves another S tier. We got ourselves another fucking S tier. I thought I wouldn't be handing out these like hotcakes, but god damn. It's just... They're cute. They're absolutely cute. They're adorable. They're adorable. And they're absolute fucking freaks. John's previous is writing his last will. Yeah. Wait. Oh, MGQ. Oh, Magic Girl Quest. I don't think that's allowed on Twitch either. I might have to like treatment on Picra or something. Not Picra, Pictaro. There's one place where I can actually do that. And it's getting relatively close to me packing up. So I do have enough time, maybe until like 1:30 to close up shop. But we made a good amount of progress. Surprisingly. Kate Sith, that's a no-go. Yep, that's a no-go for sure. Yeah, Cancer. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, let me give it a chance and see if this is actually worth it. Because I'm feeling this is already a D or F tier. Alright, cancers are crab monsters that live near water such as oceans, rivers, etc. They have an upper body of a woman and a lower body. Do cyber girls count as monster girls? No. There's mechanical girls, automatons, and stuff like that, but cyborgs still kind of classify as human nonetheless. They're just augmented with different technological body parts. But if they were androids, maybe, yeah, that's kind of going into automaton territory. The upper body of a woman and a lower body covered in a hard shell, and one five-pair crab legs had become giant pincers. Boasting freakish strength, these pincers can even twist and tear off iron armor and their prey, but also proficient enough at delicate, dexterous movements that it's no issue to remove clothing of their prey without ever tearing it. When they find a human that strikes their fancy, they will, seeking sex, use their claws to seize them and draw them near their bosom, where the alluring upper body awaits. Bubbles containing demonic energy will be released from the mouth of the lower shell, enveloping the body of the individual seized. They have a peculiar habit of using bubbles with the intention of washing a man's body by using brush-like parts of their shells and soft palms of the upper body's hands, and sometimes even by covering their entire humanoid part by their bodies in bubbles and intimately rubbing against the individual bodies. Jesus Christ. Let me drink some water. Alright, I'm good. This behavior is done to rub their own demonic energy into the man's body. Aside from that, they also hate it when scents or taste of other than the individuals get mixed in during sex. So it's said that they do it to cleanly remove excess filth, odors, other demonic energy, etc. from the individual's body. For that reason, they are especially careful about the lower regions, so that will repeatedly have the pure taste of the individual. And in some cases, they're so diligent through that they cause the individual to ejaculate repeatedly in the middle of washing. So it is legit a walking soap land. Once done washing, they finally stuff their cheeks full of their favorite thing and hold it in their mouth. These actions could also be taken as service to the individual, will even wash away in the man's will. will even wash away the man's will to resist. And they'll end up having sex just like that, with each other's bodies bubbled up. Also, although their bubbles cleanly wash away most all filth and odor, and even demonic energy that's stuck to them, they have no effect whatsoever on the partner's own scent and essence. By washing themselves with the bubbles and maintaining a clean body, they seek to ensure that the only thing that covers their body is what belongs to their beloved individual, their beloved partner. Well, I guess with Luca, he has a lot of demonic energy imprinted on him. So he doesn't really have much of a choice other than just to fulfill whatever desires that they have. Unless if he has a very strong will to object that. And again, I've never played MGQ, so I wouldn't exactly know. What you miss? We have the Boogie, which was pretty much the Brat Tamer as A. And we have the Bunyip, which is another Lamia that was very timid, but also very fun to be around as another S tier. And we also put a Kate Sith as a no-go. So right now we're just we're doing the Cancer, which is basically a walking soapland. Okay, many individuals among them are pretty poor at expressing emotions, so instead, emotion appears strongly in their lower body actions, such as why they threaten enemies by making clattering noises with their pincers, or when they express joy, they move their 5 pair of legs relentlessly, etc. Yeah, Cancer as in crab. Just like the constellation. When they express the most desire and fondness of all by moving using the whole body, it appears as if they're dancing, and it's called a courtship dance. The Cancer's pincers make a brisk rhythm, bubbles of demonic energy float around, and in the midst of the bubbles, they dance, shaking their body real intensely and alluringly. Individuals find the spectacle irresistible, and those charmed by this dance will end up getting showered in demonic energy, bursting bubbles during the dance, and a heart will be completely stolen by this unusual dancer. Okay, so I was initially going to write them off. As D tier, but looking at it now in much greater detail, I would have to say this is A tier. It's A tier. I was initially going to write them off as like D or F tier because of how they looked, but when I actually took a look at their description, yeah, he wants to grab your baddies. Well, they're just washing you up left and right, so hey, why not? Maybe I might even get that secret formula from her too. All right, now we go to the Centaur. The Centaur. And boy, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay, this is actually safe to put on stream, so let me do that. All right, here we go. A beastman type monster with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a horse, most of whom live in grasslands and plains. Most of them are excellent warriors, galloping around the grasslands with their powerful legs and loins, wielding swords and bows. They live by hunting wild animals and gathering plants. Most of them place great importance in one's pride as a warrior, so they are normally calm and rational. Due to this, they won't do things such as attack humans. The Centaur race has produced many heroes and sages since ancient times. It's because every member of this race has this way of thinking. Do not sully the name of the heroes of the past. However, they naturally have a violent and lustful disposition. They lose control unexpectedly and reveal their true nature. In cases of extreme individuals, just being touched by a human man will make them go wild with lust, revealing their ferocious and lustful nature. And according with their hot, throbbing body, they'll attack the man with they will attack the man extra savagely in proportion to how much they normally restrain themselves. Man, that sounds like a trip to the hospital or the grave. In proportion to how much they normally restrain themselves and enjoy the pleasure of and sex they wanted so badly. They're even more troublesome when they come back to their senses and calm down after attacking a man. When they're calm, they have an extremely strong sense of purity, and they may have an outburst of anger as soon as they come back to their senses. They chase him around, demanding he take responsibility. However, their devilish nature, which is their true nature, says, take responsibility so they can get the man, and then whispers to them, have sex with the man and indulge in pleasure to your own heart's content. They hate letting men ride on their backs, and they only make an exception for the man they acknowledge as their husband. If he requests it, they will reluctantly let him ride, but since the body will be glued to the man's body during this, the body will get very hot and they'll go wild with lust. By the time the man arrives at his destination, they'll totally be ready for intercourse, and he is liable to get attacked once they become unable to bear the heat and desire. All monsters in the Centaur family have another vagina aside from the horse vagina located near the rear. Okay, that's somewhat reassuring, but it still didn't help. Yeah. Which they've had since the era of the former demon lords. It is in the front at the boundary of the human upper body and the horse lower body, in the same position as a human woman, and it was newly formed when their body changed to become more suitable for intercourse with a man upon dawning of the era of the current demon lord. They can have sex with the man and become pregnant no matter which one is used. The rear vagina is also changed to become small and tight, capable of squeezing and matching the human size so it's suitable for intercourse with a human. Very, very educational. B tier. I'm just gonna have to go with B tier. All right, moving on to the next one. Charbitus. Yeah, no. Nope, 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 nope. That's a no-go. All right, up next is the Cheshire Cat. Oh, I do have work. I'm just I'm gonna be stopping the stream sometime around 1:30 so I can get ready for work. So I have enough time in order to just really knock down as many as I can. I just woke up slightly late, so I kind of ran out a little bit of time in order to get some stuff quickly, but the rate that I'm going, I should be able to knock all of this down in maybe Thursday or Friday at most. But if we do end up doing like Saturday, I might do like a bit of a review of all the stuff that I've ranked so far over a group chat too. So if anybody's willing to like hop on in the conversation, then you're more than welcome to. It's just gonna be at midnight though, so keep that in mind. All right, moving on. We have the Cheshire Cat. And I already like the mischievous look on her face. Oh yeah, daylight saving is coming around. Oh, are we losing sleep or gaining? No, we're losing sleep. Here we go. All right, the Cheshire Cat, a race peculiar to Wonderland. The Cheshire Cats are guides of this curious Lewd kingdom. Sounds like a Mizuru K manga. The progenitor of this race was a rare cat that wandered into the Wonderland and hit it off with the lady of the land, the Queen of Hearts. Because of a common love of mischief, she was given a power as a servant of the Queen. Cheshire Cats are always grinning and smiling lewdly, with a lustful and unpredictable personality. They love fun and lewd things and tease those who wander into Wonderland with obscene words, whether male or female, making overt sexual overtures, and enjoying the person's reaction. So they like making sex puns from the gist of it. Their duty is that to guide the visitor of the Wonderland, but with their guidance, what lies ahead is a variety of curious and obscene occurrences, like sex-crazed monsters that are after the visitors, etc. They're overjoyed, and their smile on their face further deepens when they see visitors getting teased by them, and they end up in sexual situations. They have the ability to freely appear and disappear. As long as they're in Wonderland, they're monsters that can suddenly pop up unexpectedly anywhere, just like the actual Cheshire Cat. By the time a visitor notices, they'll be right on top of them, groping the body from behind and making their tongue crawl all over while whispering filthy, dirty words in their ear. Words spun with sweet, enchanting timbre of their voice somehow feels obscene and lewd even when the topic of discussion is completely unrelated to sex. When they whisper, it easily melts into the hearts of those bewildered by Wonderland. While being shown the lewd spectacles of Wonderland, visitors will be tempted with such words as, "You want to join in and get off like that? You're filthy, aren't you?" And even if they had no such intentions, their body will grow hot and seek pleasure. Their thoughts will be consumed by lust and envy toward the spectacle before their eyes. Then, just as the Cheshire Cat said, "I want to have sex with," or "I want to become a monster and get off like that," will become true inside the visitor. And while continuing their tour, the visitor's values and common sense will be stained in a color of Wonderland. And by the time they change into an incubus or monster, they have totally become a resident of Wonderland. They are devilish. I wonder how Malone and Queens play with it. Hey, S tier. Malone. Oh, let me look her up on the other screen. Yeah. Oh, I remember seeing her. Like she only has like those hands from her hair just covering her breasts. Yep. I didn't know she was a slime though. Okay. Furthermore, Cheshire Cats are usually guides, mostly devoting themselves to observing visitors. However, in the event that they take a liking to an individual, they may aggressively interfere in order to make their target their own partner. They'll enjoy sex with the individual during obscene occurrences and gradually stain him completely in the blue color of their preference. After obtaining a partner, they become even more lascivious. Life with these happy, smiling girls is full of pleasure and absent of boredom and agony, in spite of their teasing. Also, sometimes become playful with men and exhibit cat-like behavior, which is different from how they normally are. But they only show this side. They only show this side of themselves to their significant others. I would have to say S tier. I don't know. It's just the tricks is kind of do it for me. Some tricks is kind of do it for me. But wait. Let me think it over, and I might come back to it later. But let's go to this Chimera. Yep, I can't put this on screen. But geez, that is such an imposing design. That is such an imposing design. All right, formerly hybrid beast born from a combination of several demon beasts via sorcery. Typical individuals are endowed with the various traits and abilities of the demon beasts: lion, dragon, goat, or snake. The body possesses the superhuman strength and durability of a dragon. Oh, that's a good part. Along with the instantaneous power and flexibility of a lion. Furthermore, with high intelligence and magical energy like a Baphomet, they also have the ability to cast spells. And their snake-like tail is equipped with a venom that paralyzes prey. Each of these abilities is a bit weaker compared to the original demon beasts, but they're able to effectively use them in combination. On top of that, these astonishing demon beasts can release flames from their heads, tail, or both arms, firing out a flame breath 4 times in a row like a raging billow. They're equipped with a combination of special traits of various demon beasts, but their most notable aspect, they possess multiple personalities, equivalent to the number of demon beasts they were formed with, all contained within a single body. The disposition and thoughts of each personality are quite different. In case of a typical individual, they possess each of the following personalities. The lion: impulsive, magnificent, and belligerent, proficient at hunting prey, she will aggressively attack and attempt to mate if there is a human that strikes their fancy. And you know how lionesses are. They will not let you go until they are satisfied. You don't have much of a say in that. Alright, dragon: noble, overbearing, and prudent. She will remain relatively calm and composed even in the presence of a human. Goat: highly intelligent and warm disposition, but extremely lustful and calculating. She will spoil the individual and lead them into corruption. Ooh, favorite tag. And snake: deeply jealous and cunning. She's dependent on the man. She's dependent on the individual she sees and also excels at making them dependent on her. She will never let a man escape. They're able to switch between and use these personalities depending on the situation. Yet no matter what, these are only personalities that standard individuals possess. There are differences depending on the character of each individual. There are also individuals among them who have characteristics other than those of the 4 demon beasts mentioned earlier. And the personalities contained within may be entirely different in terms of disposition and thoughts. Also, rarely there are individuals whose bodies comprised of lesser or greater numbers of varieties of demon beasts than usual, and in such cases the number of personalities also vary. In this way, each of the personalities vary significantly, but ultimately they are part of the same individuals. Their knowledge and memories are shared in common, and they'll always acknowledge the same man as their husband, or the same individual as their partner. Perhaps for that reason, if any one of their personalities become aroused, all the personalities will become aroused without exception, including the normally calm dragon personality. Furthermore, for whatever reason, each personality desires towards their partner won't be satisfied with just one personality having sex with them. Instead, the other personalities will even get jealous with the personality that had sex with their partner. And conversely, they'll end up arousing all the urges and desire towards them. With multiple personalities with layers of desires and love towards their husband, they're only able to satisfy their unsettling passion by having sex with each and every one of their personalities. So it's a different experience every single time. Fuck yeah! Yep. 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 That flexibility, it's already there. So we are going with the S tier for the Chimera. S tier. And she looks so good too. Damn. And let's put some music in the background just to kind of signify that things are starting to run out of time. Oh, wait, nope. Let me just do this. We're going to be ending at 1:30 because I get ready for work. Let me lower the music audio. All right, now what the slime girl's at? We did a bubble slime, and we should be coming up pretty close to it. However, we're gonna be you know, let me stop just talking around. We'll talk about it afterwards. But we have the Chochin Obake. Let me throw this. But you know me, my bias is gonna lean towards like S or A tier for slimes. Okay, Chochin Obake. Oh, this looks like a fiery paint. This looks very fiery. But I can put this on screen because it's relatively safe. All right. The Chochin Obake are a type of monster also known as Sukumogami, or artificial spirits. That items used by humans which sprung to life and started moving around. They are born from the fusion of demonic energy and either the feelings of gratitude that dwell in an item which was treated with care and used for a long time, or the negative feelings of an item which was treated carelessly and thrown away. As the name suggests, Chochin Obake literally means paper lantern monster. They are Sukumogami that is a living paper lantern. Flames that light everything around them burn within their bodies. Since they are originally a tool, they desire to be used by a human even more than anything else. Of course, they can still be used to illuminate the darkness, which was their original purpose. More than that, however, what gives them the greatest pleasure of having individuals freely use their body, which they obtain upon becoming monsters. Another thing, their flames are fueled by the essence of humans, so in any case, they will need to have sex with the individual. Chochin Obake that are born from negative feelings have extremely monstrous nature. They appear with a faint light before individuals walking the roads at night without a light. Since they are so obsessed with being used, in order to make the individual use them, they'll attack and try to force themselves upon them. Once they've had sex with the individual, they'll recognize that the man as being their owner and return to their home as their property. Then night after night, they'll force the individual to have them use them, illuminating the darkness of the light with their flames. So you better hope that someone didn't really neglect their paper lanterns, otherwise they're gonna be turned into a freaking plate thing. Additionally, there are some of those who visit the individual who treated them carelessly and keep... God damn! Again and again until they decide to use them of their own free will in order to instill the individual with knowledge of the goodness of their body. On the other hand, the Choshin Obake that are born from the feelings of gratitude go all out in displaying their devotion as a tool and serve their owner. To them, they keep being used by the individual forever is their greatest joy. Night after night, they beg the individual to use them and make them a prisoner of their body. The flame inside the body is normally small and faint. In proportion to this, the disposition grows more docile and the sex becomes more gentle. However, during sex, an essence, which serves as fuel, is poured inside their bodies. The flame grows more intense in grease and brightness. The more this happens, the more aroused they become, and the kind of lust one expects from a monster becomes conspicuous. They start moving their hips aggressively and the sex becomes more passionate, and those who are joined with them have a lower abdomen directly illuminated by their flames, causing it to be extremely hot, and the lower regions swelling up inside them. Naturally, they keep thrusting hard and release large amounts of essence until dawn, continuously raising their flames and desire to become even bigger and brighter. These are monsters! These are absolutely fucking monsters! Holy shit! Alright, take care, Max. Thanks for stopping by for the, my breed of degeneracy. But, oh my god. This thing is just absolutely ruthless. But this is definitely one that'll light up the night for sure. Because I know how to treat... I know this thing will force you to respect it if you treat it carelessly. But if you treat the object with care, then it's going to be much more passionate than before, and they will light up your night like nothing else. But the Monster Girl Encyclopedia is definitely a product of its time because how liberally they throw that word out. Alright, now let me switch over. Thank God I actually have like a yellow border that indicates which window that I'm viewing for window capture. Because if I didn't notice that and I had to constantly look back from OBS, I probably would have gotten blown up a long time ago. Alright, now the Coctedes will be the last one we'll be putting a rating on, and we'll be doing that. Depending on the... Oh yeah, that was not gonna... Yep, she's getting plowed. Alright, this is probably like a short stack situation, so maybe I can just age them up. If you find a mature Coctedes, this is gonna be like the rating for them. Alright. Nearly all of the races of the Harpy family have small bodies, but these monsters are especially small even for one of them. They have wings, but they are swiftly too small even for their size, so they can't fly throughout the sky. However, they have powerful legs and can scamper across the ground swiftly. They have extremely timid personalities, and the moment they spot monsters bigger than themselves or humans, they'll run away. However, powerful pheromones that attract humans are released from the cockatoo's body, so they have the trait that contradicts their behavior. By that means of this trait, cockatoos seek out individuals with quick legs like them in order to give birth to keen, swift children. Let me hold the chat up beside me too. Yep. The moment they're overtaken by an individual and violently seizes their hips, they experience terrible fear and anxiety. But at the same time, they instinctively feel strangely relieved to have safely obtained a husband or a partner. Then the moment their hymen is torn, regardless of coercive nature of the act, it's said that they experience profound happiness. At the same time, the anxiety and fear that they felt until then vanishes from then on. When the inside of the tiny body is violently stirred inside, to the moment it's screwed deep inside their womb, they're filled with powerful anticipation for the moment when essence will be released inside the body. With such anticipation in their heart, while being forcefully copulated. There's no way to kind of dance around that. They acknowledge them as their husband and allow cries of pleasure as that sound until they're ready to burst into tears while tasting and enjoying it. After that, the individual will come back to their senses, and when they try to separate from them in panic, they use some petrification. They use the petrification ability. The eyes are endowed with to change their hands that are strongly gripping their hips into stone right then and there, and in that state, as if to suggest they want them to thrust in and violate them more and more. They'll weakly shake their hips. Yeah, they have a thing for that kind of forcefulness. Additionally, in contrast to unmarried cockatoos that run while releasing pheromones, those with husbands do not release pheromones, and if a human man other than the husband approaches, they seal his movement through petrification using their eyes and will run away in the true sense. I like to say that it's a relief that one won't be led astray by the pheromones, but around married cockatoos lurk many other monsters that are after other petrified men. These men will end up being carried off them. Wow! It's just one gut punch after another. Come on. Nah. No. And they have that kind of fetish too? Nah, that's D to F tier. No. That's F tier. Forget it. That's absolute F tier. You get petrified. They have a wild ass fetish. It is an F tier. And with that, we're gonna call the day here. I mean, the one thing you can really give a go for with the cockatoos is that they leave you rock solid. But they'll leave you rock solid for every other monster to play with. So that's a fate worse than death. And we also have Rock Hard Akihiro. Man, that stream was too great. Just for the interaction alone, it was just, my God. I'm solid as a rock. Man. But I will post the S tier rankings that I have so far for day one. And on Twitter, so everybody kind of can follow along where I've been left off. So I will save this for I'll go back to here and we'll count it off. We have 2 A ranks so far, 1 S rank, no, 1, 2, 3. All right, let me. Oh, the template? Yeah, I was just about to, in fact, it's kind of easy. Well, the thing with Google Drive is that you can't really copy and paste, so you have to pull from the web page directly, which sucks. All right, let me go back to chat. And I should make a template just for the sake of it too, so it's easy to follow along. Was it Dullahans? We haven't gotten to that point yet. We might hit that point maybe tomorrow. Considering the rate I'm going, I should be able to reach that point. So we have, let's see. Let's match case. And let me up the volume too. Advanced audio properties. All right, there we go. I'm pretty sure they're high. I do have my biases too, so there's also that. All right, now we have 1 S rank, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six X ranks. One, two, three, four, 5. Five A ranks. All right. Again, thanks everybody for stopping on by. Hope you had a wonderful time with this stream, but this is not over. If we can actually complete this all in the weekday, it would be so much fun. But, yep. I'm gonna start getting ready for work. Hope you all have a nice, wonderful rest of your day. And if you guys and gals are watching this over the VODs, hope you do give me a nice little follow or even enjoy my content nonetheless. So then I'm gonna find someone to give a nice little raid to. So don't go away quite yet, unless if you have something very busy to deal with. Okay, I guess I can raid Onigiri. Onigiri usually does a lot of cooking streams, but I guess she's doing a bit of more of a just chatting stream at the moment. But if you do enjoy her content, please do give her a follow or even support her even further. And we can go with this as the phrase. All right. Ciao.